Hey, this is the Daily Hit on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I'm Scoot. I'm glad you're with us. So, the focus of the NFL world, focus of the football world, is on New Orleans right now and Kansas City. But we're in New Orleans, so we're focused on New Orleans. The Saints and the Rams play Sunday in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in the NFC Championship game. Whoever wins that game goes on to play in the Super Bowl against either the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots. Either way, it's going to be an epic Super Bowl matchup. And this city is ramping up. This city is buzzing. You can just feel it. I live downtown. My apartment here is in downtown New Orleans. The station is downtown. So I feel the pulse of the city. Also, the French Quarter this weekend will be crazy, crazy AF. But that's not the only thing that's crazy AF. Before I talk about that, let me just explain. And I know you know this, even if it's just subconsciously, but I wanted to actually talk about it. The role that football plays in our lives is a role of distraction. It distracts us from the stuff that's crazy AF. And right now, things in America are crazy AF. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's really bad. For example, the government shutdown continues. And many federal workers have gone without a paycheck now twice. On the verge of going without a third paycheck. Some people work paycheck to paycheck. If you work paycheck to paycheck, imagine if you just weren't paid. It's fine that you're going to get the money back. In fact, President Trump signed this big thing about how the people are going to get their money. Well, that was set anyway. So that was a bogus thing. So if you live paycheck to paycheck and you don't have money, what do? Not everybody can go to their daddy. Not everybody can go to somebody and borrow money. So that's not good. But among the federal workers not being paid, the Coast Guard and Secret Service agents. This is not good. It's both the Democrats and the Republicans' fault. But don't buy into the idea that it's just the Democrats' fault. It's the fault of the president, the Republicans on Capitol Hill, who don't have the courage to speak out because they're afraid. They're afraid of President Trump. They're scared of what he might say in a tweet to them about what they did to him. They're scared. So we've got a bunch of spineless politicians in D.C., not just Republicans, Democrats too, and Nancy Pelosi stonewalling as well. So there's that going on. Nancy Pelosi, as Speaker of the House, suggested that because of the government shutdown, there might not be enough security for the president to have his State of the Union address, which seems to be a really ridiculous claim. Because we're talking about a very small, restricted area. And this seems like a big publicity stunt on the part of Nancy Pelosi. She's offering the president to do the State of the Union from the White House or to submit it in writing. Well, that's not the State of the Union address that we see every year in America. So again, a bogus claim by Nancy Pelosi. It doesn't seem like, and I've heard experts speak on this, the U.S. does have the security and the law enforcement personnel to allow the president to give his State of the Union address. So it's all about politics, canceling it because of the State of the Union, because of the government shutdown. So you see how both sides are playing politics? And what happens? You and I, we're the fools, or they're playing us for fools. Also, President Trump said we defeated ISIS, pulling all the troops out of Syria. Well, apparently he's not going to pull all the troops out of Syria immediately. Not only that, but after declaring that ISIS was defeated, ISIS claims responsibility for an explosion in Syria that killed 4 people. 4 Americans, killed more people than that, but killed 4 Americans, including 2 U.S. service members. The war against ISIS ain't over. Well, what was that? A distraction? Declaring the war on ISIS over? Declaring ISIS defeated? Was that just a statement to distract everybody? Well, factually, it's not true. Dumb statement. Should have learned from George Bush, who made the speech from that aircraft carrier with the big sign behind him, mission accomplished. Well, we learned right after that the mission was not accomplished. Senator Graham, I believe it was Senator Graham, said that President Trump actually emboldened ISIS by making the statement that the U.S. had defeated ISIS. He said that actually encouraged them to go out and prove that they were not defeated. So that statement could have led to the deaths of 4 Americans. I don't know. Also, the Russia investigation continues, and it's almost to the point of being comical. Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York, President Trump's attorney, said, and it's on tape, well, on video, over and over and over again, there was no collusion with the president, no collusion with the president's campaign. Well, all that's changed. The president has changed his position on that. And now Rudy Giuliani. First of all, he said, I never said that, which was backed up immediately by actual video of him saying no collusion on the part of the president or the president's campaign. There has been a lot going on with the president's campaign. And even though collusion is not technically illegal, that's my understanding of it, it seems as if the Trump campaign was working with the Russians, which means this is not a witch hunt. Okay, so with all of that considered and more, this is why it's great to have the NFC Championship game here in New Orleans. It's great for this city to focus on this, because as a talk show host, I'd be focusing on all these other things. But today on my radio show, I'm going to focus on the NFC Championship game. So this is the role that sports plays in our lives. It's a great distraction. In this case, it's the NFC Championship game. In Kansas City and New England and Los Angeles, it's the NFC and the AFC Championship games. So let's always appreciate sports for the role that it plays in our lives, because this is not only a great distraction, but as divided as we are, football brings us together. And if we can come together over something as simple as football, then maybe we really don't want to be as divided as we are. I'm Scoot. This is the Daily Hit on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel, SOTA. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll give you a notice every time we do something new. And if you do subscribe, it's free. And you'll be one of our early subscribers, because we have now just reached over 120 subscribers. So I'm very proud. We're just getting started here. This is our show on this network of YouTube, and it just gives us a chance to freely talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. I'm Scoot.